Okay, we're live. I would think we are. Okay. All right. Well, thank you for joining me. This is Dala Alphonso, and we are broadcasting live on Facebook, YouTube, and other platforms. Well, this is part 2 of 5 discussing this critical topic, marching towards your goals in 2019. Well, if you're just joining us, I will encourage you to just leave a name, leave us a shout out, let me know you're here. If you have any questions during the course of the conversation, please feel free to post your questions and I will try to answer as much as I can. All right. So, once again, welcome and I hope you're having a great weekend. Well, let me do a quick recap of where we started or stopped last week so that way we can pick up intelligibly this week and be able to make meaningful progress. Last week, we talked about time as a seed because that is the one ingredient that we all have evenly across the board. And the investment of our time, or what it is that we invest our time in, will determine the returns or the outcomes that we receive in life. You see, you do not just wish a goal into fruition. You do not wish a dream, an idea into fruition. You've got to work at it. And sometimes that work requires you to hone your skills, develop certain skills, talents, and abilities, requires you to develop a network of individuals, get into partnerships, get some knowledge, which could be formal or informal. There's certain requirements that are expected for every specific goal that you have. And so last week we talked about the significance, the importance of time as a seed, and why so many people aren't able to accomplish their goals. But today we are going to piggyback and just pick up from where we stopped last week, which was I gave you an assignment, which was to go ahead and dust out or pick out those goals that you had set at the beginning of the year that maybe by now, with everything going on in your life, from political issues to family issues, you may have forgotten. So it's time to pick those goals up again. And I specifically told you to go ahead and start listing those goals out because it will lay a foundation for what it is that we are going to discuss today. Now, if for any reason you haven't done that, then take advantage of the video. I think we'll post a link to that video underneath this so that way you can go back and watch it and be able to be caught up. All right. So today, I am going to focus on the 4 dimensions of self, or rather, let me just expand on that. I want to talk to you about the 7 dimensions of self. And you're wondering what that is. Now, what that is basically is defined as the different facets, the different aspects of your life. We all have various things in life that matter to us. And each of those things that are critical to our well-being and our existence and our success have been put into categories, or what we may call dimensions, for the purpose of this class. Now, psychology and other areas of studies have shown that there are 4 critical dimensions of self. The first dimension is the dimension of your health. Yes, HEALTH, the area of your health is a very critical dimension. The second dimension of who you are is your wealth, because we need money to succeed in anything it is that we are doing in life. The third dimension is often referred to as your social dimension or your social circle. In some cases, you call it the relational dimension of your life, because no human being is created to live or be an island just by themselves. What that essentially means is that you need to interact with other people, and too often your successes and the accomplishment of your goals is dependent on the people that you meet along the way and the opportunities that those individuals will help you create. And the 4th dimension is the dimension of personal development or the personal growth. This dimension is very critical because it lays the foundation for everything else that you want to accomplish. If you're not prepared for certain opportunities, when those opportunities show up, you will not be ready and you will miss out on a great platform or springboard that could have sprung you into your goals. All right. So these four dimensions, the dimensions of your health, your wealth, your social, and your personal growth are very, very critical. And so if these four dimensions are important to your existence and to your success in life, then it would make sense for you to have goals that align with each of those dimensions of your life. You need to have a clear health goal. Let's talk a little bit about the health goal for now. Why is the health goal so important? Because every other goal you will have in life hinges on your health. Now think about it. If your goal was, if your primary goal was to become successful financially, meaning probably up to 10 figures in whatever your nation's currency is, and then in the course of pursuing your goal, you fall sick, I can bet you that your priority is going to change at that point. You will not be too concerned about making money. You'll be more concerned about getting healthy first, because it's a healthy person that can make or create wealth. So your health is fundamental. It is key to you having the strength, the peace of mind, the focus, the creativity, and everything that is needed for you to accomplish other goals. So it is so critical for you to make sure that you have a clear goal. And don't forget, when we were talking about these goals from last week, let me remind you that every goal that you have has to be a SMART goal. When I'm talking about SMART goals, what do I mean? The goal has to be very, very specific, meaning that it must be clear. The person pursuing and anyone who it is communicated to needs to understand precisely what that goal is. So just saying, I want to become healthier does not mean anything. You could say, I want to lose 10 pounds. I want to lose 14 kilos. That is a clearer health goal for you to pursue. So your goals have to be very, very specific so that by the time you begin to pursue it, you will know exactly where it is that you need to be. The second piece of it is that your goals have to be measurable. I gave the example of the health goal saying, hey, I want to lose 14 kilos or I want to lose 10 pounds. You see, when you get on that scale and you find out that you've lost only 3 pounds or you've lost 4.5 kilos, then you know you're making progress. But if all you're saying is that, oh, I want to be healthier, how do you measure health without some metrics that is supporting it in the background? So it is very, very important for you to have very, very clear health goals. It doesn't matter if it's health, all your goals have to be SMART goals, all right? They have to be specific, they have to be measurable, and of course, they have to be achievable. They have to be things that can be done, and they have to be realistic based on the current resources that you have. Now, I'm not saying set goals that can only be achieved by what you have. You can set what they call stretch goals, but those stretch goals must be based on the current resources that we all have or that you have, because we all know that resources can be scarce. And we're talking about resources with regards to time, with regards to knowledge, with regards to opportunities, network, finances. Everybody's situation is different. Look at your own situation and ask yourself, what is realistic or based on my circumstances that will still stretch me in order to achieve certain goals. And then lastly, there must be a time bound to it, meaning that there must be a unit of measurement with regards to time or a period during which that goal or those goals will be accomplished. So your goals must be SMART. I just felt it was important to just say this so that for those of you who are just joining me for the first time, my name is Dala Alphonso. You'll be able to know exactly what it is that we're talking about and be able to follow along without necessarily needing to first of all go back and get caught up on the first part of this broadcast. So number one, you have to have a very clear health goal. Number two, you need to have a wealth goal. Why is a wealth goal important? because everything that we do in life is impacted in one way or the other by finances. Maybe your goal is not to become a billionaire or a millionaire, but your goal is probably to live a comfortable life, meaning that you can pay your bills, you can send your children to the schools that you desire, you can take your family on vacation whenever you decide you want to wherever it is that you want to go, without having the need to, get a third, fourth, fifth extra job, get a loan or whatever it is. What does financial success look like? So you have to work your way into it by setting a clear goal with that regard. Maybe for you, $100,000 a year might meet that goal. So maybe all you just need to do is to have a job that pays well over that and you're all set. But also you have to think about your future, because if all you do is work to create money, a time is going to come where you may not be able to work. What about those times? Isn't it better for you to work towards financial independence? That is also an option. So for every person, we are at different stages in our lives. What is that goal that you want to achieve with regards to the wealth dimension of your life? Then, of course, there's the social circle. That is where the rubber meets the road, because that's where your network determines your net worth. That is where your peace of mind is determined by how you react and relate, connect with your family. Some of you may be married, some of you are single, you may have somebody that you're espoused to, whichever the case might be, it might be your children. Relationships are important for us as human beings. And so it is very, very critical for you to have clear social goals. It's important for you to improve the quality of your network. What are your social goals? Maybe you want to become a better father. Now, just saying I want to be a better father does not mean anything. Remember, it has to be a SMART goal, meaning that I have to spend more time with my kids. And how do you measure that? Maybe in the past you were never there, but maybe this time you spend at least an hour every day with your kids. Or maybe you just have to be back home for dinner on time so that you can spend time with the family, get to know how their day was. Everybody has what it is that they want to accomplish in their social circle. What are your social goals? It is so critical for you to set that up. And then lastly, your personal development goals. Because who you are, if you are a 10 today, that means you're ready for things that are 9 and under. If you're a 12, it means you can handle 11s and under. But if you're a 4, you'll be overwhelmed if somebody gave you something that is equated to a 6 point. Why? Because you have not yet developed capacity for that kind of opportunity. So it is very, very important for you to also have clear development goals or personal goals. For some of you, your personal goals might be something that is not necessarily personal development in that capacity. It may be something you want to achieve just for yourself. Maybe, even though you go to school, that education will give you a degree that will give you more money, give you a better job and all of those things. But there's a sense of satisfaction that comes to you personally by saying, hey, I was able to accomplish and get my bachelor's degree or my master's degree or whatever kind of degree it is that you're working towards. So that is just an example. So you must be clear about these 4 areas. You need to have a health goal, a wealth goal, a social goal, and you must of necessity have a personal goal, which are things of personal goal in the personal dimension of your life. These 4 are very critical, but there are 2 others that I added, or rather 3 others that I added to my goals, because I felt I wanted to separate certain aspects of my life just so that I can have clarity. I have number 5, what I call vocational goals. Because of my business, because of my travel, because of the things that I do, I felt it was critical for me to have a goal that focuses on my aspirations, my vision, my career. For some of you are just 9-to-5ers, some of you are business owners. It's important for you to have a vocational goal. What is it that you want to accomplish in the context of your vocation? What it is that you want to meet? What goals do you have for your business? They have to be separate from yours, all right? Because your finances have to be separate from your business goals, business finances. The same thing with your health, the same thing with your business circle. They intertwine here and there, but it is very critical for you to keep them separate. So it is always important for us to have vocational goals. And most times, if you're a business owner, vocational goals are typically focused around money and goods or services. that you provide. So what are your vocational goals? For somebody who is employed, maybe perhaps you want to become the best manager that they have out there, or you are looking for a promotion on the job. What are your vocational goals? They have to be clear. They have to be smart goals that can be measured. The sixth that I have is what I call spiritual goals, because I believe that each of us believes in something outside of ourselves, particularly in the context of the spiritual. For some of you, you may be Christians, some may be Muslims, some may be Buddhists, some may be atheists. You believe in something outside. What are your goals in that context? It is very, very important for you to have clear spiritual goals if you feel you need to have one of those. And then there is a seventh bucket that I have called the miscellaneous, or the other set of goals, or set or dimension of my life, because I felt that there were certain things that would not perfectly fit into into the boxes that I have created with regards to my health, my wealth, my social, my personal, vocational, and spiritual. So if you fall into one of those categories where you feel that there's a goal or something you want to achieve that will not fall into the 6 dimensions of your life that I have mentioned, you can create an eclectic bucket to collect that so that you can track them. All right. So it is very important for you to have clear goals in 6 plus dimensions of your life. But if you want to have 6 or 7 like I do, that is fantastic. But if you don't have 6 or 7, you must at least have 4 goals, or 4 goals in the 4 dimensions of your life, meaning you could have at least 1 or more goals in each dimension of your life. And I will encourage you to make sure that those goals aren't repetitive, they are not overlapping, and also it is very, very important to make sure that you don't have too many goals in each bucket, so that you can be clear as to what you want to do. Next week, I will talk to you about how to clarify your goals so that it becomes easy to pursue and achieve. So let me just give you a quick recap of what we've done today. Today, we've identified the 4 required dimensions of yourself, and also 3 optional buckets which you can be able to consider as dimensions of self. And it is important for you to create goals in each of those dimensions. The dimensions, once again, are your health, number 2, your wealth, number 3, your social circle or relationships, number 4, your personal growth or personal development, number 5, vocational dimension, number 6, spiritual, and then number 7, miscellaneous, or whatever it is that you want to call it. So once again, thank you so much for allowing me to be a part of your Saturday. I want to encourage you to do us a huge favor, because you are not the only person struggling to accomplish your goals. There might be friends, family, foes alike who may benefit from this. All right. So please do me a huge favor. Hit that share button and get this video out there. Share it in groups, share it on different social media platforms, email it, and send it to somebody who you think will benefit from this. Because there's one thing that I have come to learn. In order to accomplish goals that are important, it's always critical to go the journey with somebody else who believes in the same things that you believe in, hears the same information that you are hearing, and are aspiring for the same heights that you're pursuing. All right. So thank you. My name is Dala Alphonso. Share this video and leave a comment below. If you have a question, I'll be very happy to try to answer as much of it as I can. And I would like to get a feedback from you with regards to how this publication or how this broadcast has helped you. And if there's a topic you'd like to hear about in the future, I'll be very, very happy to share that with you as well. So have a great week, and I will look forward to having you again next week as we continue our series on marching towards your goals in 2019. Have a fantastic weekend.